Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5 podcast, where we talk about 5 things you need to know about the Smash CPU Ultimate Draft League. My name is Shohei O T-shirt, and I'm joined by Michael. Michael, how did we get here? Shohei, over the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of teams get sent home, and it's been rough to see those losses. It's a tough schedule. But we will be crowning a new champion tonight, Michael. And we are pressed for time, so I just want to highlight the matchup between HKN and BP. So let's get into the standings recap. In week 4 of the first season of the Draft League, these two players faced off for the first time. The different times, Shohei. No custom balance, no drafting restrictions. Min was a new and BP won 7-5, taking the first 3 modes and dropping the last 2. Looking at the characters, I think the results make sense. Maybe some of these, like Terry over DDD in FS, was more 50-50, but yeah, a 1-0 all time. Anyway, Michael, it's time for awards. All right, Michael, this week I'm giving the Sharks in the Water Award to HK. After Aitken won the Season 1 playoffs, there was a lot to consider for the future. In a capitalist society, now hold on a minute, there is a big emphasis on upward movement. But if you are at the top, how can you move up? Going into the 2014 season, the San Jose Sharks of the NHL were pretty stagnant. They were playoff mainstays, but in a decade of playoff appearances, they had never competed for the title in its final match. I don't know what went through the minds of these players, but if there was ever a time to take a small dip into a bigger leap, it was then. The 2014/2015 Sharks would go on to miss the playoffs for the first time in years. But the story doesn't end there. In the 2015/2016 season, the Sharks would make a comeback and would eventually reach the playoff finals for the first time. They would ultimately lose, but whatever. And right here, week two of season 3 was possibly the start of that dip for HKen, going 0-2 lifetime against BP, but culminating in his playoff run this week in season 6. That is the Sharks in the Water award. That's my award. Good award, Shohei. I wasn't sure what you meant by Sharks in the Water, but it makes a lot of sense. All right, so my award, I came up with this last minute. I was super tired, so real quick, didn't have a lot of time. But the Coronarian Air Force Medals of Valor are standard gold medals with blue ribbons awarded in Star Fox 64 for shooting down enough enemies. In turn, BP's Fox in week 7 of season 5 was placed in Final Smash Meter up against Hkin's Dr. Mario, and with the precision of a sniper, took out a character that on paper should have likely sealed the deal. This Fox win would go on to contribute to an 8-4 victory for BP over Hkin, leaving the all-time head-to-head at 3-0. And there it is. That's a good pick, Michael. I like that reference. Do you hear those sirens? I think it's the Riz report. One pick tonight, Shohei, and I'm just gonna say it, man. I'm putting Hkin on El Riz. Week 6, season 6, Hkin put up a 1-4 record, a win in singles over Ridley, but 4 losses. FS to Ike, Stamina to Gunner, doubles to Lucas and Pac-Man, and squads to Dark Pit, Swordfighter, and Rob. I think the standout is Stamina, where Hkin had been extremely strong up to this point. That's true, Michael. I think I'd have to agree with this pick. But much like Dr. Mario previously, the opportunity for a comeback does exist, of course, although this does make it a 4-0 lifetime for BP. With that, let's get into some viewer questions. Killa OR asks, who will win the fifth meeting between BP and HKN in the Ultimate Draft League? And if I can start, I think while the previous set history can make things seem one-sided, HKN does have one of the most stacked teams I've ever seen. And I would never count out someone who just makes picks like that. Your thoughts, Shohei? I can definitely agree with that, Michael. But you have to remember that BP's team is also quite good, very versatile. I'm looking at that record. It might just be the 5-0. Thank you for watching and look forward to this principal match of the Draft League coming soon. Today, even. Might even be happening as we speak. It's going to be a good one.